Hello and welcome. You're watching This Is Today Television. I'm Sakshi Patrana. You are a mutual fund investor. This is a video that you must watch until the end. The news of capital markets regulator SEBI investigating quant mutual funds has taken the investors by surprise. As per reports, conducted research major operations and quant mutual funds as well. Quant Mutual Fund on its own has issued a statement emphasizing its commitment to full cooperation with SEBI and maintaining transparency throughout the investigation process. For all these reasons, for a wide audience, I'd like to highlight that Quant Mutual Fund has actually become one of India's top performing fund houses in a relatively shorter period of time, in just 6 years. In fact, 3 years performance, Quant Mutual Fund has been among the best performing fund houses in the past 3 years, and also has grown from 100 crore rupees, then it went up to 258 crore rupees in 2020, and now stands at over as of June 2020. We also have 8 portfolios and therefore the impact is being understood as could be larger with the kind of investors that there could be. And how big a concern is SEBI's action towards mutual funds? Should investors in mutual funds read into this as well? Is a very special Kshitish Mahajan joins in, CEO and managing partner of Survey. Sir, and thank you so much for taking the time out. Another very important development probably caters to a wide audience, and therefore it is very important to understand the development in the right context and in the right fashion. So, to begin with, you could understand, is this a concern that investigating Quant Mutual Fund and allocate or given running case with that?
Well, thank you, Sakshi, always here, and topic which we're discussing today. And SEBI is 24/7 in the best interest of retail is the root. And there are a lot of checkpoints which have been developed by SEBI. That there is by the stakeholders and companies. So, and that whatever you're doing, with investors only. Managing the funds to start. Participate in the fund, that's not a problem. But then, with somebody, with any companies or any should use as a reason to buy or take some personal or any friend. That is one thing which want also, that can be, and this is my initial discussion, that might be a case might be a case of some people at the cost of the stocks which mutual fund. Second point which one has to understand is any SMS. But yes, they have a very high churn ratio in the also, which helps to raised question, because normally invest into the long term, and their previous schemes ratio at 60%, because it's a there's no capital gain you can do way above than normal. So I think discussion has already started. Point of various beneficiaries. So this is going on. Let's comment anything. You never know, they might wrong. Some wrong means when you have which is a one say, and they have all fun and they want getting into that company, new company portfolio. Because it is coming to that. It is called that you already have taken business. There is news or information that that company. And this is something what they might on the basis of information given by that is what they are expecting.
Okay, but what should investors do? Was in time those who've been consistently mutual funds via their using any point in time their first step be at this point?
So, things that performance very the largest holding is so the liquidity is not a problem. Any of the small many of that part. A drag which was coming if some further because once you have flowing in, there will be a lot of my suggestion is right, there is no need to act. Making any further that is something which one can look at. For any further input of steps, once the result will be out and once it is done by you hopefully looks liquid, illiquid, various ones and getting further till the time the final result.
Okay, so wait and watch the investments you have. Hold on to the investments that you have planned in the coming days. Let the down, let more developments come in before you use. But at this point in time, do not also act panic and move money. And we still need to find out what are the SEBI's conclusions as well. Do tell us, sir, any prior cases that one can refer to understand SEBI reacted and what are the steps that we take in investigations also prove?
So then, so before talking about this, I would like to share with you that all SEBI effects are in the best interest of investors. Shows me more of my knowledge. So I want everyone who does that all in intelligence for investors. So there are cases we access last year. Not and
time?
Oh yes, if you remember, months back we stress test for small and fund. This is a lot of stress test fund. Although they have both the portfolios, but I'm saying every time there's a best practices which keeps on happening of asset management by SEBI is the best interest for investors only. See further fluency by asset management as well as by
Okay. Lastly, Kshitij, this really long-term credibility of quant and quant mutual managers, especially the lead managers who have seen respected market watcher, market analyst for a long time, 40 years of experience, right? Does it do anything to the credibility or everything until the time you actually get the investigation results?
Actually, you've been a part of this market. It's good, I'm telling you. And there are 45, 46 houses. The point is that if something will come out, we have seen that actually struggling to revive. If you remember 2008, what happened with Mirae, during Deepak funded Amshan days. And but it took long for them to get named. But this all caused the timing this among people. And the fund houses which are there. It's not thing. I wish that nothing because industry and but let's see how things will change. Yes, you are. It creates negativity among many people if something comes out, and they like to refrain from maybe when maybe for a shorter maybe small. So let's see how things will shape up. I'm just hoping that come up, but let's see.
Well, thank you so much, Kshitij, this special help us really understand what this development really means, how should investors read into this, and what should the next step be, and of course, what we could take and to really understand as to where this case would be developing. But we need developments to come in to give us greater clarity on how it happens over the next few days. So we'll wrap it up at that conversation, only to bring to you the perspective of top marketers who are really looking at this issue closely to help you understand how should you read the situation. But we'll wrap it up at that. Thank you so much, Kshitij, again for being with us on this and we will continue to get you more insights from the world of stock market, finance, Business Today Television.
Where Paytm's soundbox replaces the need for a Chotu under ATM. And this makes business smoother than ever. From offline from queues to apps, Paytm has millions of payment and like they say, Paytm made in India, made for India. To understand the following, we first need to understand that there are two philosophies of business, and this is one of the most important things that millionaire trust. Very, very carefully. You could either be a part of business or business. Now, most of you will call it, bro, why is every business is a business-driven business? Well, understand this easily. When Steve Jobs was building Apple from 1976 to 1985, it was a product business. They built one of the finest computers ever seen. But they did illogical things that an MBA would never do. Because whatever they did would make no sense at all. For example, people don't care about packaged. So practice was to use a metal. But Steve Jobs cared so much that he spent several months into just finding polished plastic. Because he was beautiful. While everybody was just growing their sales, Steve Jobs was obsessed with something as simple as because he said, if anyone gets their they should be able to use it the right way. So he spent hours just making the perfect user manual into all the slow production made Apple II so expensive that it was the price of its own. Guess what? Steve Jobs never cared. When Steve Jobs launched the iPhone in January 2007, he had already announced that the phone would be shipped in June. So only 5 months left to ship to the customers. By this time, the factory was ready, the raw materials were decided, the design was finalized, and the iPhones were just about to get manufactured. Just after the presentation, Steve Jobs comes backstage and says that Tim, I used this iPhone prototype for 2 weeks and this iPhone has scratches. So we need to change the screen because we cannot have a screen that has scratches. And you know what? Tim was shocked. But Steve, to start production, we change the screen. He said, I don't know, Tim. We just have to. Now, if you speak to any product designer or manufacturer, they will tell you nobody in their mind would try to change anything at this point because changing 1.2 million iPhones is just a joke. Most profits, thousands of people at risk. So back then, nobody produced such proof in the world. Just a few weeks before launch, the entire Apple team for someone who can do it. And in these few weeks, they found a company in China that could cut the deal. They found the company, hired 1,700 engineers, and started manufacturing iPhones scratch-free. And the world saw the use of Gorilla Glass.
Today, Apple is going to reinvent the phone. Pretty strong advantage. Fastest development off here and a very successful one.
Steve Jobs asked me to turn something fragile into something destructive.
Steve Jobs made a call to the CEO this morning to create glue to withstand crashes and breakages in Apple products. We developed Gorilla and it's used on every iPhone.
Apple rebuilt the plastic screen with Gorilla Glass in just 3 days and 1.4 million iPhones that didn't get scratched. 4 years later, Apple sold 200 million iPhones.
We think there are going to be several hundred the first one.
Phone brings pleasure, and that's
A million phones will be flying out the door that first weekend.
I'm buying $100,000 worth of.
Stock competitors in black manufacturer hard.
When you look at it from a business standpoint, Steve Jobs did not have to do this because the customers would have never noticed. And he rolled out Gorilla Glass in the version of the iPhone. It would have been great because it would have been a good selling point to sell iPhones. But Steve Jobs said, no, no. Apple junk. Product comes first, revenue, profit, shareholders, everything comes next. This for the longest time, Steve Jobs maintained Apple as a and business-driven business. So when you're a product-driven business, every single decision of yours is to build a good product, even if that means profits, even if that means value, even if that means taking up. This says under great product, everything will be stacked up. When you build a formidable product, the world will beat all the odds in the market. Whereas in a business, the leader will always tell you whatever makes the whatever it value, that is what you do. Then it doesn't really matter how good or average your products are. If you understand this, you will understand the case better. So this is very clear to you. Jump into the way of Boeing. People, Boeing was one of the companies in the history of the world. It started in 1916. They supplied aircraft to the US Navy during World War II. And William Rich, when Boeing's War.
Aircraft with passengers in mind. Men and women who built the plane saw a grand opportunity.
Boeing was the first airplane in 1900, and by 1950, the first US commercial jetliner called Boeing 70. Boeing was so far ahead as compared to the competition that in the 1970s, while Airbus 300 could carry 247 passengers for a non-stop distance of 4,600 miles, McDonnell DC-10 could carry 220 passengers for a non-stop distance of 3,000 miles, and Lockheed TriStar could carry 400 passengers for 4,600 miles. Whereas Boeing 747 was so far ahead of the competition, it could carry 460 passengers for 9,200 miles. The reason why Boeing was so good was because engineering nerds only wanted to build the best in the world, even if that meant profits, even if that meant taking the company on the verge of bankruptcy. Boeing engineers took the company on the verge of bankruptcy just to build a great product. And the classic example of such an insane product obsession is the story of $1 billion in 1960. Back in the day, Boeing generated a revenue of $2 billion, and even though they had a great year, they made more than $1 billion called the Boeing 747.
Boeing 747, the world's first jet. So wide, right round, shorter than its wings.
The knowledge that airplane was just extraordinary.
And it was more than just a big aircraft. It allowed any person on the opportunity to get an airplane and fly wherever. It was $1 billion technology to the limit.
So they put in the revenue into that's called research and development. Well, this is German. You need to know how incredibly difficult the aircraft space is. Did you know another old company or another company where you can expect some for into R&D in aviation? Even if you spend $1 billion, there is absolutely zero guarantee that you will be able to product. And even after you spend money, it will take you anywhere between 5 to 10 years to even build a single product. In fact, even after spending 5 years and $1 billion, there is a possibility more model of aircraft will never get made, and after making the aircraft also, it is given. For example, when Boeing made the new 787, they spent $32 billion. You know how much money that is? That is 12 times and 8.38 times the So after spending $32 billion, they then had to sell 1,001 aircraft just to break even. Big 1,001. As of December 2023, the entire Indian market, Vistara, Air India, they only had 770. So they had to sell 1.9 entire aviation fleet of India to break even. This is considered and sell. But even then, back in 1990, more than 50% of its into just building Boeing 747. It took them 28 months and 2,500 to build it. But when they built it so well that from 1970 to 2007, that is 27 years, Boeing 747 the last. And the reason why it was so successful for 70 years, it was a company that was run by these engineers had the ultimate power of saying yes or no to building the product. In fact, even the executives of Boeing had such a solid reason that they had designed and they always put much ahead of because they were so product and they built the products in the world. Their numbers from 1975 to 1995, Boeing shot up by 4 to $18. The revenue shot up 3.92 billion, 19.52 billion, and profit shot up $2 million to $2 million. This is when Boeing was one of the formidable companies on the face of Earth.
Boeing record orders for its Dreamliner. Emerged as a key innovator in jet technology and global aviation. The company pursued growth through partnership, acquisition, and by navigating international competition. Suddenly, air travel was within reach for almost everybody.
Then the question over here is, when Boeing was so successful and profitable, what exactly went wrong? Well, the story of the fall of Boeing started in 1996. There were three players in the market. One was Boeing, a company called Metro and Douglas. While Boeing had 53% share, Douglas had 19%. So they converted the market to Douglas for $13 million. And this is where the problem started. When they acquired the company, McDonald's a man named Harry, and somehow Mr. Harry negotiated a merger with Boeing in such a way that he became the president and chief operating officer of the one entity and a member of the board. So you know, small company became the head of a large company. So you know what happened next? The management in charge of the production and design department. After taking over, they started breaking down the teams of Boeing into separate outsourced teams in Malaysia and India. For example, in Boeing's Dreamliner program, Boeing outsourced its operation to Japanese companies like Mitsubishi, Kawasaki, and Fuji Heavy. So these companies own 35% of the structure. Mid-section, air section of 737 operated in Malaysia, where they had their own supplier. Now the question over here is outsourcing its operation. That is because when they outsourced their operation to Japan, they wanted large orders from Japanese companies like All Nippon Airlines and Japan Airlines. So it's like US companies outsourcing their orders to India so that they can get Indian clients in return for their relationship with India. This looks like a fantastic business decision, right? Outsourcing cost, and in outsourcing, Boeing will get new customers. Decided to outsource 70%. I repeat, 70% of its design, engineering, and manufacturing of over 50 strategic products, right? Operations simpler. To such an extent, problems occurred, and eventually the budget allocation shot up from $18 to $20 billion to $32 billion. So because of stupid outsourcing strategy, Boeing had to spend another $12 billion extra. From 1999, Boeing laid off more than 50,000 employees for cost cutting.
Now, 12,000 US
Both companies are expected to be back on the overwhelmingly provides a end an 8-week strike. The group says the contract protects more than 5,000 factory jobs while preventing the outsourcing of certain positions and healthcare benefits.
And to make matters worse, existing money to build better newer products, Boeing engaged in a hell practice. You know, between 1998 and 2018, back shares worth Why did they do that? They wanted to increase earnings per share. In simple words, if you have $1 profit and you have 100 outstanding, then your earnings per share is $1 per share. But if you buy back 50 of these shares, so now the outstanding share will be $2 per share. So earnings per share goes up, the investors view the stock as more valuable. So yes, Boeing $1 billion
stocks to make matters worse, while they were taking these business decisions, Boeing headquarters in Seattle, 1,000 miles away from the aircraft division. So now, management and the engineers were far away from each other. Yet, quality check, innovation, research, everything took a backseat. This is Boeing's business leader. You business practices to lay the foundation for Boeing's future. And guess what? Endured. While Boeing was spending $60 million for useless stock buyback, something crazy was happening with Airbus. Airline in 2011, for 15 long years, they had bought from Boeing. But because Airbus was coming up with more aircraft, they placed an order with Airbus. This is when Boeing got a wake-up call. Falling behind, and planes were no longer the best quality or of the best efficiency. So you know what they did? Instead of cutting back and using that money for building new products, they took a shortcut. Instead of spending $1 billion on a project, they spent just $2.5 billion to tweak their existing design of 737 and create 737 MAX. So, do you see the difference? A few decades back, the same company did not think that it was pumping in 1% of its revenue into building an aircraft. But now, the same company spent 81% of its profits into buying and did cost with product development. And since they were operating out of FOMO, this advantage and in performance tracking, they made one big mistake. You know what? When you build a new product in the aircraft industry, it takes 5 to 9 years just for Boeing could do it. So in their way to have the process of certification, they use the same parts of the 737 and just attach it to engines. So this our customers were airline companies. They use the same staff and the same pilots with minor additional training. The fact was that Federal Aviation Administration had already certified the 737. The modified 737 MAX would be easily. Now, Boeing 737 MAX or the modified version of certification. Without training, the Boeing 737 MAX was and any major aircraft, one change that even I was aware of. To tell you, while Boeing 737 used a larger engine, this engine is a little forward, which was this was because the change in engine movement affected the aerodynamics of the plane. So to they introduced something called maneuvering characteristics adaptation system. In short, if the nose went too high, the MCAS would automatically push the nose down. And what implies that as soon as the flight took off, this MCAS pushed the nose down. In fact, a report of the air crash showed that the sensor made the plane go downward at least 2 times. During this time, pilots struggled to pull the nose up, but eventually they lost control and crashed. And the most shocking fact is that pilots were so off the system, right? Well, guess what? The pilots didn't even know this in the first place. Because Boeing was not making any changes. As a result, no one was told the pilots about MCAS, and they didn't inform the pilots about MCAS in the manual. Now those two aircraft crashed eventually. A full-blown investigation into Boeing. And now people they found out that in the race of looking better for the shareholders, Boeing made such terrible choices that eventually it caused them such heavy losses that it neither profits nor do they share value. In fact, in the past 5 years, Boeing stock has gone down by 59%. And what's more is that in the past 10 years, Boeing 900 flights across the world. That's how consistently have to decide to be a productive and trust me, if we build products only to increase profits and revenue, for disaster. So build and let the users buy product or product. Culture in any organization is of and if there is a disconnect between the management and the employees, again, it's a perfect recipe. The management team is working closely with your product team. Is it working against your team? This is where the problem starts. It happened with Apple. It happened with Steve. So there's no reason why your company should do this. Always remember, in business, there is a thin line between cost and profit. If you cut costs, it will help you in your business. If you compromise, fall will be. This is what we need to learn from the fall of Boeing. My second advice, if you learn something valuable, please make sure to like it not make you and for more valuable business and political channel. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.